Welcome to Housing After 60. I am Charles Odell. On this site, we analyze the math and the reality of senior housing to find your best options. Let's get started.
Welcome to another deep dive from Housing After 60. Today, we are looking at how to protect your retirement equity from the escalating costs of major home repairs, and this is all based on our latest research at housingafter60.com. Okay, let's dive right into this. We're going to start with a hard number that really frames the new reality for homeowners: 12%. That's the projected average jump in what it's going to cost for skilled labor to do major repairs in 2026. And look, this isn't just some random number. It's being driven by high inflation and a very real shortage of master tradespeople out there. So you see, this isn't just a small price bump. It's a fundamental shift that impacts the single largest asset most of us own. As our founder, Charles Odell, always says, your home is a massive part of your financial portfolio. And let's be honest, when you're in or near retirement, you just don't have the time to recover from a major financial hit like you used to. So here's the crucial point. We need to fundamentally change how we think about our homes. We've got to move past that purely emotional connection, the memories and the comfort, and start managing this asset with the cold, hard logic of an investor. Most of us operate with that first mindset, the homeowner one. But preserving your net worth, that requires adopting the other one. And this slide, it just perfectly captures the difference. A homeowner might be thinking about new paint colors or fancy kitchen hardware. An investor, though, they're focused on what protects the home's core value: the structure, the plumbing, the electrical. They don't wait for things to break. They replace them proactively. Exactly. An investor doesn't worry about paint colors when the plumbing is 40 years old. And that brings us to the critical systems that pose the biggest financial risk. We call these the hidden liabilities because, well, they're often out of sight and out of mind, right up until they fail catastrophically. We're going to start from the ground up with a system that's under constant attack: your foundation. Hydrostatic pressure, this is the invisible enemy here. It's this constant force of groundwater just pushing against your basement walls. And with all the shifting weather patterns causing soil to expand and contract, this force is absolutely relentless. So what happens when you see a small crack? You might be tempted to just patch it up with some caulk and call it a day. But a crack, even one as tiny as 1/8 of an inch, is a serious warning sign. It's a signal that the structural forces are starting to win that battle. It's definitely not just a cosmetic issue. It's a red flag for progressive failure. As we noted on the site, the physics of expansive soils can turn that small crack into a huge problem. You'll start to see it in how the whole house shifts: doors that suddenly stick for no reason, or those diagonal cracks that seem to shoot out from the corners of your windows. You might even see the basement walls themselves visibly bowing inward. That is literally your house telling you it's in distress. Now let's talk about the home's vital organs, the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems, or what we call MEP. These are the systems that keep your house running, and believe me, they are almost always the source of the most expensive and the most unexpected repair bills. The thing is, these systems have a finite lifespan. An investor treats them like depreciating machinery, and honestly, so should you. A water heater, it's really only designed to last about 10 years. An HVAC system, maybe 15 if you're lucky. If your home was built in the early 2000s and you haven't replaced these key components, you are absolutely living on borrowed time. And putting money into fixing a 12-year-old air conditioner, that's a classic sunk cost fallacy. You're just paying for the next failure to happen. And when you look at the real costs for 2026, a new HVAC system can easily top $20,000. A main sewer line replacement can be even more. These aren't just big numbers. These are retirement-altering numbers. Those numbers are pretty jarring, right? And they make a powerful financial case for being proactive rather than reactive. The cost of waiting isn't just the price tag of the eventual repair. It's the cost of the damage done in the meantime, it's the sky-high emergency labor rates, and it's the lost opportunity. So let's run a quick simulation. Imagine you have $20,000 set aside. In scenario A, you just wait. Your HVAC fails during a massive heat wave, and that emergency replacement costs you $25,000. Ouch. A few years later, an electrical issue causes damage, and you're hit with a $15,000 insurance deductible. Now, in scenario B, you spend that $20,000 up front. Your new systems are reliable and efficient, saving you nearly $10,000 on utilities over that same decade. The difference in the outcome here is not small. It is a massive swing in your net worth over a decade. The homeowner who neglects maintenance actually ends up in the red. But the proactive homeowner, Their net worth increases by $60,000 when you factor in the energy savings and the preserved value of their home when they go to sell. I mean, the math is just undeniable. And this doesn't even touch on the tax advantages. See, proactive replacements are considered capital improvements, not just simple repairs. A new roof, for instance, adds to your home's cost basis. This is so crucial because when you eventually sell, a higher cost basis means a lower taxable gain, and that can potentially save you thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. Now, if you want the full technical breakdown on how cost basis and IRC Section 121 work, you should absolutely check out the post on housingafter60.com. It's a really critical piece of financial planning. But all this logic brings up the big question. Okay, great, but where do I even start? So we've boiled the whole process down into an investor-grade audit that you can do yourself. And you can get this done in an afternoon. First, just walk the perimeter and check the grading. Next, take a safe look at your electrical panel. Do you have 200 amp service? Then check your water systems and test that sump pump. After that, go find the manufacturing date on your HVAC and water heater. And finally, pop your head up in the attic and look for any signs of moisture. These simple checks can reveal the biggest risks hiding in your home. Completing this audit really transforms you from being just a passive homeowner into a proactive manager of your most critical asset. And it leaves you with the single most important question you can ask yourself about your property right now. Thanks for watching. For more guides and the full article on this topic, head over to housingafter60.com. And don't forget to check the links in the description below.
Your peace and enjoyment in retirement depends on the right housing strategy. Visit housingafter60.com for our full analysis and cost transparency guides. I will see you in the next video.